to the stage Danielle Wall Elliott. She's a total rock and roller, you guys. She's worked alongside one of my favorite people in blockchain and crypto, Eric Fouries, for many years with ShapeShift, and she's going to be teaching you guys about DAO tooling. So give a round of applause for Danielle Wall Elliott.
Welcome to Denver. I'm so excited to see such a packed house. What a cool venue to be in a nightclub, and oh wow, all the way at the top. Hi guys. Today I'm going to talk to you about becoming a DAO and the organizational Legos that I think are the most important to help you build. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Wall. So my introduction, I fell down the crypto rabbit hole in 2014 and came through it from a liberty perspective and really wanted to find a way to take power away from governments and banks and corporations and return that back to individuals. And so Bitcoin was really interesting to me, and yeah, I haven't been the same since, probably like the most of you guys. I contributed to ShapeShift since 2016. I started as a support agent in their first 12 employees, and just kind of grew with the company and learned how to build the organization and have the operations there. So grew all the way to director of operations and have helped through this decentralization process as we've become a DAO. And so I wanted to start and ask as well, how many of you have heard of ShapeShift? Nice, cool. It's about half the room. Hi friends, oh yeah, hi friends. And hi new friends. We started as a way to really interact with crypto, trade crypto seamlessly without custody as much as possible. And so we are excited to see the decentralization and everything that's happening with DeFi. And we hope to be your DeFi stop, your DeFi platform to interact with everything. So I'll talk about a history of ShapeShift and how we made the decision to decentralize. I'll talk about decentralization is not the absence of organization. So I'm going to drive that point home. And then quickly, I think the communication and how you pay contributors is really important. So the tools that we use to do that. And then we'll conclude and talk about, this is all about the building Legos, all about DeFi Legos, so use what works for you. All right, ShapeShift began in the summer of 2014, pre-Ethereum, trying to become a DEX, basically, this way to interact with liquidity, this way to interact in a non-centralized way, in a non-custodial way. So you did have to trust us for a split second. You could trade Bitcoin and Litecoin, Peercoin, Darkcoin, so we're OG, we go all the way back. We called it a crypto vending machine, put one in, get one out, and that really was our ethos, no KYC, easy, no custody, as little as possible custody. We continued to grow. We had a lot of support in the early days, and it just continued. Our team got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then KYC happened. And our company that was built on trading and exchanges, and so we did the KYC for you. We went and got all of the exchange accounts for you so we could do the trades on your behalf. Now we need to take your information. We did not want to do this, just something that, you have to do. This is, I think, like a CoinDesk article or some article when we started taking KYC, came out with this picture. I put it as my background for a long time. We were inspired to get back to our ethos, but we weren't exactly sure how to do it. We went from our highest volume days, 50 million, $75 million, 24-hour trading volume, to thousands of dollars a day trading volume after we made these switches. It completely gutted our business. And so we found our way back. We found a way to get back to our ethos, get back to who we were. And a lot of that was Thorchain and being able to integrate 0x. And so what that did for us, our product offering to our users stayed exactly the same. But now we didn't touch the crypto. We didn't have to take users' information. We could go back to the ShapeShift that we were. So this inspired us to go deeper. How can we get rid of all this regulatory burden that we have? How can we open up and become more efficient and grow faster and have people contribute all over the world? So ShapeShift decided to decentralize the entire company and execute the largest airdrop in history. Yeah, woo, I love that. Give me some woo, woo. We've seen a lot of companies, we've seen a lot of DAOs start with a foundation. We've seen a lot of, different routes to become a DAO, but we thought we had kind of pioneered this first being a truly centralized company with multiple entities in multiple countries and going straight for it, getting, in waves, laying off all of our employees, paying out our shareholders, shutting down every entity that we have, and turning over the keys to everything that we do to our community and Fox holders. So that's the why, and so then I just want to go over, what I think is the most important lessons that we've learned, and what, if I was going to either become a DAO or start a DAO, what I would want to know. So decentralization is not the absence of organization. You need to offer clarity on, I'm talking specifically about mine, but insert your DAO name here, insert your token name here. Offer clarity on the ShapeShift DAO functions and governance process. Enable anyone to easily start contributing and earning Fox. Enable work streams to operate with a high level of autonomy and to achieve their mission and goals. Maximize governance participation and minimize fatigue. Do not have your community vote on every single thing. They will stop voting, they will get burnt out. Quality, not quantity proposals. Enable work streams to securely manage and utilize funds allocated to them from the DAO. Willie, you recognize this? That's your words, bud. I know this one's a little blurry, but you're going to get the idea. Hierarchy is important. It's not just chaos and everyone running wild. Elect leaders, elect experts in their field, make sure they have the autonomy and the money to back up the goals that they want to accomplish. One example of this in particular that I worked on and submitted the proposal for was the Treasury Management and Diversification Committee. And so what we realized, we had this, at the time I took the screenshots, $100 million treasury that we're trying to, work with, utilize, capitalize on. And we realized, wow, every decision that we have to make is running through the community, and it's taking 14 days at least before we can send money to whatever opportunity investment strategy that we want to employ. So what we did, we started, small committee for 3 months to start a trial period, and really gave them autonomy over a specific amount of Fox so that they could go make the decisions, do what they needed to do as a committee so they can vote. It's not one person making these decisions, and give that power to them so we can move faster. So yeah, just really, really important to create a hierarchy, create people with power, give them the power to accomplish their goals, and don't make your community vote on every single thing that you're doing. How do we communicate with our contributors? I'm sure everyone knows Discord, but instant message, of course, you need a quick, instant way to talk to people. A forum, you want to have these ideas discussed in a way that is clear and concise and is not lost in Discord. So I think it is important to have two separate places to talk about, the daily and then the strategy. And then for us, governance proposals, we use Snapshot. I looked it up. Snapshot has over 5,000 spaces now. 5,000 teams, 5,000 communities are using Snapshot. If you're not familiar, it's a free, gasless way to create proposals and also free to vote on them. Votes are signed messages and are easily verifiable online. And then I think this is the biggest question I get. It takes a snapshot on chain of where the Fox or whatever token it is in what address. So I can't send, I can't vote with my million Fox and send it to Willie and he vote with the same Fox. It is clear who can vote and who's eligible to vote on each proposal. And then it's also customizable, so multiple voting systems, for your team, and figure out how it works best for you. How to pay contributors. So ShapeShift had this large pool of community with its shareholders and its employees already established. And so what we wanted to do is try to convince some of them to stay, show them that they have an opportunity to make their Fox more valuable. So we did grants to employees and shareholders with Sablier, and so that vests over 3 years. In each block, these community members gain more Fox. And so the original idea was, we'll give everyone, a payment a month. Well, then everybody gets paid on the same day. That hurts your token economics. So really what this did, every block, every person can decide when is right for them to withdraw, when is right for them to sell their Fox and do whatever they want with it. Also, what this would be good if you had a core team, an initial team that you wanted to launch with, and then it gets rid of like a hassle of payments and payroll admin that you might have. We also use Colony. Colony addresses a critical need for DAOs. You can pay contributors securely, transparently, efficiently, cheaply with XDAI. So that's really helped our salaried DAO employees. We also started with Fox as payment, but with that treasury management and diversification committee, we realized we could do stable coins. And so, of course, our employees have mortgages, our employees have bills to pay. So it is really nice that we're able to pay them in stables now as well. Coordinate is a new proposal that just went through and allowed each work stream to kind of get a budget to start playing around with this. This allows everyone on your team to say, hey, you're providing value, and then pay those people. So someone can come in and start providing value day one, and then you can pay them later. All right, and again, just DeFi Legos, decentralization, the idea, there are so many DAO tools out there, and so I think you can find what works for you. You don't have to be a 75, 80 person company, who's decentralizing, who's starting this. You can be 2 guys in a basement. You can be a few people, and you can really use any tools out there to help you achieve what you're looking for. So yeah, I just wanted to wrap again, and I say this over and over again, I'm a broken record, but decentralization is not the absence of organization, and it is so important that you have a clear foundation and clear goals and clear initiatives of what you want to do, even though you're a decentralized community and you want, participation all over the world. So I'd love to take some questions if I have time. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Danielle Wall, and you can find out more about ShapeShift by going to shapeshift.com.